Welcome, everybody, to Spiritual Cafe Sessions with Kim
Hi.
and me, Nikki. This is episode 3. If you're tuning in, thank you so much for giving us a listen. And if you listened to our first 2, we are so grateful. We are so appreciative of you. If you've commented, liked, or shared, my God, thank you so, so very much. Because, like we talked about in the first 2 episodes, we're bringing this podcast to you so that we can help inform you of all the things out there that are going on spiritually, especially if you're starting your journey. Right, Kim?
Yes.
Yep,
And it's a very
absolutely.
beautiful journey, so we want you to be well prepared,
That's
or as
right, right.
prepared as you can be.
Yes, yes. Absolutely, because it's not a scary journey, it's a fun journey if you let it be that way. And the more correct information you get, the better, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm gonna start this off right off the bat because I always forget. Um, The tea that I'm drinking today is, again, another black tea because I don't know, I'm on a black tea kick. It is what it is. But it's the peach Mai Tai tea from David's Tea. So yes, not a small tea shop, but I do love about 2 or 3 of their teas. And this one is amazing because it has pineapple, even though you don't like pineapple.
Yeah. Light.
Apple, peaches, obviously, marigold flowers, blackberry leaves, and it does have ginger and cane sugar in it. And I love this tea because you definitely can make it cold and sweeten it if it's not sweet enough for you. I think it's sweet enough without any sugar or honey, but I know a lot of people who put it in. So
My house, I went, my daughter was at a birthday party,
yeah.
and the mom was talking to me after, and she said, "I'm so sorry. She had sugar." And I thought, "Okay, she eats sugar all the time, right?" And she
Yeah.
said, "Well, she says you don't let them have any sugar." So, like, the poor mom was, like, stressing out the entire
Oh
time
no.
because my daughter said, "Just because I don't buy sugar to add,
Yeah.
so that's all I don't do." Like, obviously, they eat sugar. But, yeah, so
Oh,
she
the poor
thought that,
mom.
oh, like, my kid was I was she was wiring my kid up and we were gonna be in trouble, but no, we're good.
Oh no, no. I get. You know what? I would have been like that too, though. I would have been like that too. I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
It was just so funny.
Ugh. Well, that's the theme kind of the podcast. The theme is addicted to readings of all kinds, tarot, mediumship, whatever other readings there are out there. We're going to be talking about how people get addicted to readings. Personally, I have had many people get addicted to my tarot readings, and I do not have a problem cutting people off. I have cut out people so much on that because I don't do tarot for to gain money. I do it to help people. That's why my prices are so low, but I will cut you off if you're coming to me every day.
Yeah.
I will cut you off, okay? Because I can tell that there is something there. There are some issues underlining there that definitely need to be worked through. That tarot is not going to help you, but other resources will, right? So I'm super quick to cut people off. And I do have a little case study that I pulled up. It's kind of a very interesting story that we'll bring out maybe midway. I'll read it to everybody after we're done
Alright.
discussing it and whatnot. But yeah, I'm excited for this episode because I think it's very common for people to get addicted,
Mhm.
especially with TikTok and Instagram and how it's so accessible now to book a reading and have a reading like within minutes or hours or the same day. The
Yeah.
internet, right?
And across the world. You can find somebody from anywhere in the world. So,
Yeah.
if you hear something, but if you listen to our last episode, please be careful
Yes.
who you're reaching
Yes.
out to, or are they reaching out to you?
Exactly.
Because that can be lead to an addiction,
Yep.
or I guess maybe sometimes addiction isn't the right word. A heavy reliance, a heavy, like people feel like they can't get through a day or they can't make a decision without these
Yeah.
readings.
Oh my God.
And
Yes.
that's absolutely something that you don't want to happen.
Yep. No, absolutely. I mean, it drains you. It doesn't just only drain you financially, which generally it usually does, but it also
Mhm.
drains you emotionally and mentally, and then that will lead to physical exhaustion. I
Yep.
mean, the effects of this is it's kind of insane, right? I mean, this case study that I found is actually it talks about that, talks about how it emotionally and mentally affects you, just even being addicted to these types of readings.
Yes, well, so many people, the things that happen in our world is there's just so many things that can happen, go on, and, you know, there's relationship issues, there's, money issues, there's, should I do this? Should I do that? And it's not just like readings. You can get addicted to asking for healings,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
People will, we have, I've seen this, they will come and they'll ask for healing all the time. And, but you need to start to learn to rely on your own intuition, your own, um,
Knowing.
what you can do, how you can center yourself. You're not going to heal. You're not going to get this information if all you do is take it in and just keep like going over and over and over it and not allowing it to sit with you or to not act in,
Yeah. Yep.
whatever, if it's something, possibly you get a reading, it's not great news. People then will spin out and then they'll just have the self-fulfilling prophecy that, things aren't going to work out. This isn't great. This is,
Yeah.
that these are things that are dangerous to get into because mental health is so absolutely precious.
Mhm.
And this day and age, there's so many things coming at you from so many different places, so many people telling you what you should and shouldn't think. You need to not give up your power, your abilities, your essence to other people to tell you how things need to go.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, and you need to learn to have the confidence in yourself to accept this information and work with it.
Yeah. That's a very good point. You know what? I didn't think about that. I didn't think about how people are addicted to healing sessions. Like
Mhm.
I know so many people now that you've mentioned it, if they're listening to this, it might kill me, but oh well. That make sure that they book, for example, Reiki sessions every couple of weeks. But I mean, even something like that, even with something like hands-on Reiki, you've got to give it some time. You've got to give it that thing to purge, right? You've got to give yourself that time to heal and take that information like you said and put it forth and use it so that you can heal. But you're absolutely right. I never thought about that, how people get addicted to healing sessions.
Well, you absolutely, with all of this, you have to be an active participant in your life. You
Yes.
can't just be giving this over to, cards or healing or whatever. Yes, it's great that you're wanting to get some kind of guidance, but that's guidance. It's not, they're not writing your book. You can change what's going to happen if it's
Yeah.
something that's not great. And to have this reliance, people on healing, some people just do it all the time, but you just need to learn to sit with yourself and be your own healer, be your own intuition, because you close that off, you're not getting anywhere fast,
It's true.
except for maybe down because your vibrations are going to be so low because you're going to be
Yeah.
stressed out all the time.
Yeah, no, seriously, that the amount of people that I know that heal or get tarot readings all the time or mediumship readings all the time and whose vibration is still low and they don't understand it. And I try to tell them this is why you still feel a little poopy. This is why you don't feel like up here. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. It's been scientifically proven. The higher your vibration is, the easier it is for you to bring in amazing things into your life, situations, people's, wishes, whatever you want. All of that has actually been scientifically proven. But when you get caught up in that and addicted in that kind of stuff, it's going to keep you lower because what you're doing is you're addicted to it and you're not actually putting the work forward, like you said, being an active participant in your life.
You have to be, or say you're getting tarot and you keep getting like a certain bad
Yeah.
card and you live your life waiting. for whatever this is gonna be. Well, who
Absolutely.
who
Yeah.
says that it's actually gonna be negative, you know?
Yeah.
Because people can just go right off the deep end
Mhm.
because they're so convinced that something bad is gonna happen or, something, you know, is going to destroy them or whatever,
Yeah.
and you can't be living your life like that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, that's so true. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I see this. I see people on lives. I see people trying to book readings every day. I see people trying to book tarot readings. Whether it's with myself, they book it, then they book with another tarot reader, another tarot reader, another tarot reader. Like they're trying to, if they're not happy with one reading, they go to another one, right?
Mhm.
To make sure that this person gives them maybe a better reading or maybe the things that they want to hear. I think a lot of people sometimes go to tarot readers because they think the tarot reader is going to tell them what they want to hear, and some do because
Mhm.
some want the money and the repeat customer. Some don't. I definitely don't. I'm kind about it, but I definitely won't tell you something that's not true. But I do see that a lot of people getting sucked in and spending all this money on readings because the reader is telling them things they want to hear,
Yeah.
right? And then that stuff never comes true. And then they're coming to me or they're coming to another tarot reader and they'll be like, well, this tarot reader said that, but it's not happening. I don't know why it's happening. Can I get a reading from you right now? Can I? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right? Yeah,
Mhm.
it happens a lot.
And there's a difference between watching and kinda seeing watching a bunch of different readers to see who you feel a connection to,
Yeah.
but when it is taking over your life, it's like any other addiction. It's like gambling or alcohol or, any kind of dopamine, um, I guess, giving
Yeah.
activity or things. If you're looking for it, that's where you're gonna go. And it, again, if you're continually just focused on exactly what's in there, you're not doing yourself any justice because you're not gonna grow, you're not gonna learn, and you're not gonna develop your inner strength and your inner self. And if you wanna have power in your life, you need to develop your inner intuition and your inner strength and your inner confidence so that you can act on
Right.
whatever in your life and have the best life that you can have.
Yeah. I agree with that. Oh, I 100% agree with that. I do. I do. Should I read the case study? Because we like
Sure.
some of the stuff that you just talked about is on the case study,
Okay.
and then we can
I
discuss
guess
it.
I'm
And it's a
sort
very,
of smart.
yeah, you are very smart. All right. Okay. So I didn't print it out because I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit lazy today. So it's on my laptop over here. But all right, let's just go.
Don't
So
wanna kill
this,
trees.
pardon?
You don't wanna kill trees either.
It's true. It's true. My gosh, it's true. Okay. All right. This was a case study published in the National Library of Medicine from Nats University in France. Not Nats, sorry. Nats University in France. It was published in March of 2023. They were doing a study on addictions, right? A lot of people going their way for addictions, regular stuff,
Mhm.
drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex. But there was a woman who reached out to them who had an addiction to clairvoyance. Okay. So,
Mhm.
Helen was a 45-year-old woman who declared early on suffering from a clairvoyance addiction. This is precisely why she consulted our department, which is specialized in the field of addictive disorders. She has no particular medical history except for two major depression episodes after romantic breakups and does not need to take any medication. She regularly sees a psychiatrist for support because of negative events, sexual abuse, and a death in her family. She is divorced and does not have any children. Her career as a manager seems to fully satisfy her. She decided to seek treatment on account of her excessive financial expenditure. I can't say that word. I can't speak today. Anyway, so she decides to seek treatment on account of her excessive financial spending due to the consultation of fortune tellers. But another motivation that explains her decision is her age. Indeed, she says that she is entering a new phase in her life after renouncing to the idea of becoming a mother one day. Okay. Helen first consulted a fortune teller when she was 19. She was then looking for advice on her secondary education orientation. She pointed out that she has always had difficulties making decisions because she is always afraid to make the wrong choices. My God. Yes, I
Who
know how
is
that
it?
feels. Jesus. She kept a good memory of this consultation because of the reassuring feeling it gave her. She consulted many fortune tellers over the next few years. Between the ages of 25 to 27, however, she intensified those consultations, ended up losing control of her fortune telling disabilities. She was then in a relationship and was hoping that the fortune tellers could answer her obsessive doubts. Does he really love me? How long will our relationship last? And after their breakup, will he come back? Does he love somebody else? Did he ever really love me? The episode she is currently undergoing dates back to the beginning of her marriage when she was 37. She repeatedly returned to the same fortune teller to assure herself about the future of her relationship, and so increasingly it deteriorated. The breakup worsened her disorder. Since her divorce, she consults fortune tellers, and not always the same person, sometimes several, on the phone or online in a compulsive way, more and more often, up to every day for longer and longer periods of times, up to 8 hours a day. And she spends more and more time and money, up to €200 per session. She is never
Jeez.
satisfied. I know. She is never satisfied with the fortune teller's predictions. If she isn't satisfied with the fortune teller's predictions, she will consult again very soon after the latest call or connection, within 24 to 48 hours. Every choice she has to make, from the most trivial, going to the movies with this friend or this friend, to the most important, making relationship decisions on who to date, leads her to irrationally consult one of her fortune tellers. During the consultation, she is absolutely convinced that the fortune teller can guess the future and that his or her prediction will come true. She says she feels excited after each consultation, but then also gets immediately nervous, tense, and her anxiety seems to explode. Consulting fortune tellers relieves her of her discomfort only temporarily and after she feels guilty. This excessive behavior gives her some kind of reassurance and allows her to make up for her lack of self confidence. In that sense, the excessive disorder would be considered as an attempt at self medication or a way for her to mostly deal with negative emotions and unchecked anxiety. Helen knows that her belief in all these tellers' abilities to predict the future is completely irrational and that she can create her own path. This brings major adverse consequences still, particularly in her finances. Despite having a comfortable income, she is very indebted. She also says she's been having low self esteem due to her inability to resist the strong urge to consult fortune tellers and due to her now being isolated from others because of the times that she spent consulting these fortune tellers. That's it.
Hmm.
But at the end
Wow.
of it, Helen succeeds after some more therapy, after working with this addiction department, and has now limited the consultation of fortune tellers during short periods of times, reaching out to only one or two within a 2 week span. So they did end up helping her kind of weed herself off of going to see, like I said, different fortune tellers all the time,
Mhm.
right? Getting reading after reading, because if you get one reading, you're not happy with it, or you get a very positive reading, and you're waiting a day or two and it doesn't happen, and you're like, where is it? And then you're getting another reading to make sure it's still on check, right?
Yeah.
So luckily, this wonderful woman was able to weed herself off of it. With help, though. She needed help. I mean, this is excessive, but sometimes this is how excessive it gets for people.
Oh, yeah. I know I've seen people become completely, like, they have the inability to even function,
Yep.
and it's just like any other type of addiction.
Yep, it
And
is.
unfortunately, there are people out there who see clients, people coming in, as money. They don't see them as wanting to help them or whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying everyone, but there's quite a few that's all they want is money. And they won't say, hey, keep getting the same answers. Um, I years ago, I was going through some very heavy stuff, and this was before you could access all this stuff. and I don't even know where I would find them, but I would get these readings from people, and honestly, I don't even know that it was a person, that
Oh,
gave it. Was it like an auto-generated
yeah,
thing? Because then you'd get more and more, "Oh, well, now you got this, and, now we're gonna give you a deal on this," and it would
I
just like they
didn't.
just keep adding on to it, and at the time, I felt that that was, you know, what I needed,
Yeah,
and it was just because, like, I was so confused in my life, and I wasn't trusting myself, I wasn't trusting my feelings, I wasn't sitting in my own power.
yeah,
But
that's
that's a
it.
lesson that we do, I guess some of us have to learn to do that, to get into sit in your power, to trust yourself. You don't need, to be getting readings all of the time.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. I do think that, I mean, like I said earlier, it's harder now because it's so accessible, right? It's so
Yeah,
accessible to people. So they can get it whenever they want, or at least try to book it whenever they want, however it works for them. Um, but the internet has really made everything feel very urgent, you know?
yeah,
People don't have patience. People I mean, the lack of emotional intelligence astounds me at times.
yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, I love the internet. The internet is letting us do this. TikTok's letting us do this. It's like it works in our favor, but people don't use enough discernment when they're on it. And these people, like we mentioned in our last episode, some of these people, some of these readers, some of these mediums, they are very skilled at knowing based on the questions that you're asking them where your self concept is. So they can pick up quite easily. I'll tell you now, I could pick up quite easily if your self concept is like here or if your self concept is all the way at the bottom, right? I can pick up like that. And so can most of these readers. And for some of them, if they can pick up that your self concept is at the bottom and you don't think you're enough or you don't think you're worthy or you don't think you're smart or whatever it is, um they will use that, like Kim said, they will
Mhm.
use it to build a clientele and to tell you, yeah, of course I can book an emergency reading for you today, but my emergency readings, they're not $50 an hour, they're $100. So if you want your reading today, it's got to be $100, right? Now, I'm not saying all of them are like that because I know for a fact they are not. And I know that some who offer these emergency readings are legit, right? But again, people I don't think know anymore how to really use their discernment when it comes to this stuff, right?
And that's you bring up a point about somebody being ready. Just because somebody is ready or available doesn't mean that they're a good
Yes.
reader.
Yes.
So, if you're only picking someone to do a reading because of their availability, you might not be doing yourself any justice because you haven't felt
That's
as
right.
to if you like how they read, how how they read with other people. You're just going on and, okay, I'm just going to get this information now.
Yep. No, that's seriously it. So many people like that. So many
Yeah.
people. Because it's their anxiety, right? You get
Hmm.
anxiety. You really need these questions answered. Why isn't he texting me back? Does he want to date me? Am I going to get this job? Am I going to get this? Like, what's going on? Like, I can't wait. I can't wait. We live in a society now where everybody wants everything right away, instantly,
Yeah.
answers right away. And that's not how energy in the universe works.
No,
It isn't.
the divine timing, patience. If I have
The
to hear that ever,
patience.
it's
Yeah, seriously, everybody's
drives
like,
me nuts.
"It'll happen in divine timing." No, 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 it's gonna just calm down.
I want it now.
It's gonna happen when like, just calm down. But I
Hmm.
understand it's hard. It's very hard for people. But it does make me sad because a lot of these people who get addicted to readers, um, it's because their self-concept is low. They have a lot of anxiety and they don't know that, I mean, if, learning nervous system techniques like, calming your vagus nervous system is one of the number one ways to battle your anxiety, right? And they don't know that they could do breathing techniques for that. There's all these other techniques they can do. And once that's calmed down, that urgency, that anxiety physically dissipates, right? But people don't know that because that's not what's shown or shared, right?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you are so engrossed in these readings and these healings, and there's a negativity behind it. So, because you're trying to trying to get,
Yes. No.
you're putting lack
Back.
out into the universe, and when you're
Yeah.
putting out lack into the universe, that's what you're gonna get. All right.
Exactly.
And the same thing, you're so worried about, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, whether it's your health or whatever. You know what? You are so worried. You're putting so much power into that happening. It will
Yep.
happen.
No, and Kim, 100%. That thought is going to that's going to show up in your reality. Because like you said, you don't take the time. You don't take the time to heal. If you've had a healing session, you're booking another one immediately right away a week later. You've got to feel, you've got to purge it, whatever that means for you. You've got to, work through that trauma. That's the thing. And there's so many people I know who do that, who take the time to heal, who come out of lack, and all of a sudden, the love of their life returns. They win money, they find their perfect house. They like, it's crazy. And it's not
Hmm.
like it's witchcraft. It's that they've worked on their energy, their self-concept, and they've brought up that vibration where they don't need to get a reading every third day because they know. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's
Well,
interesting.
Spirit gave to me one time, uh, and I had posted it not that long ago on my TikTok page, but it's you can't get bigger and better
Yeah,
until you are already grateful for what you already have,
that's right. I did
you
see that.
know?
I really
So
like that.
you
It's true.
have to it was much nicer when Spirit gave it to me than what I'm just kinda trying to remember, but it was actually something that came out one day when I was, with some people
Hmm.
hanging out, and there was a person who's usually pretty negative, and I that came out of my mouth, and it wasn't me. And I didn't even catch
Wow.
it right away, but another girl sitting with us said, "Wait, can you repeat that?"
Oh,
And I had to stop.
I
And
love it.
and then that's when I got that and I realized, "Oh, wow, like, that is fairly significant." Because at the time, I wasn't exactly the most positive person either. I felt that I was, kinda stuck in something, and I was just, I guess, getting to the point where I was needing to learn
Yeah.
these lessons and learning that I was not going to focus on lack and
Yeah.
focus on, things being negative because that's doesn't turn out well
No,
ever.
I mean, we've all been there. I mean, I've been there. I've
Mhm.
been there, and for some people it's hard to get out of there, but I mean, there are right resources out there. There are the right readers, there are the right teachers, the right healers out there that will help you get out of there, without making you feel that urgency, that it's got to be fixed right away. If you don't fix it right away, then you're not going to get it right away and you're going to lose it or something, right?
Mhm.
Because that's not a thing. I'm going to 100% tell you guys
No.
that that's not a thing. But
No.
actually,
No.
I have a question for you, Kim. Okay.
Sure.
So people being addicted to tarot readers, yes, yes, yes. I mean, it happens all the time. But um, do people, or have you, I should say, ever come across somebody becoming addicted to mediumship readings?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yes, 100%. Uh, when they start to realize or that they know there's a connection,
Hmm.
they feel that's the only way they can get that connection. And
Oh,
it's very understandable because these are loves, right? These are parts of your heart,
yes.
and people are not trusting in their own abilities to communicate with those who are their loved ones. They
Right.
forget that all of this connection is based out of love. So what love has connected, it cannot, destroy. It does not
Can't be,
end,
yeah. Can't be severed.
right?
100%.
No.
Yeah.
So there's your people are there. So, they're not learning how to sit with themselves, meditate, be, whatever, and realize stuff that's coming through to them is actually their loved ones,
Wow.
you know?
So,
It's very sad.
so have you had people try to book with you all the time or try
Yep,
to, all the time?
yep, yep,
So, what is I don't know if this is going to be the right word, so I apologize, but after you get a mediumship reading, right? Like yours, is there a time frame, like, in a sense, where where you can get another one or you should get another, do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So obviously, you can have different people come through,
Right.
but they've kind of it's kind of said or believed, at least for me, if you're going to keep coming to me in a short period of time, things aren't changing that quick.
Okay.
So you're not going to be you're just giving me money. You're not getting any more clarity, you're not getting anything else. You're
Mhm.
just getting that same information again. And if a reader will continue to do that, they're just taking your money because you don't need to be going that often. And I would say if you really wanna have readings, like and I'm not talking like little tiny messages, you can sit in circle or, you can go to an event where you have, group readings and things like that. I'm talking like a one-on-one reading.
Yeah, okay.
And, my readings, I don't stop unless I feel spirit is done. So
Yes.
I don't really
See what she
book
doesn't.
a time amount for that. And so it's really maybe if you have to all time, like maybe every 6 months, kind of like an update. Because things aren't
Okay,
really going to change, you know. But again, I know people lose people and it can be, you want to talk, but I have had to say, like, look, you know, you keep trying to book, but it's really not going to do you any good. Like you're
right,
just
right,
giving me
right.
money, and you've got to say it as nice as possible because you don't want to hurt somebody or make them think that, you know, their stuff isn't worthy.
Yeah,
But like they again need to learn to sit in their own. They need
yeah,
to learn to be part. They need to learn that they have that ability.
that's
They
interesting.
have that ability because that love is not severed.
Do you think it's because, like, I mean, I got one from you, and I did mention I was like, I did some of those group ones before and whatnot, and
Hmm.
fascinating. They're very fascinating to me. But do you think that because I mean, we lose somebody we love very, very much, and we all go through a grieving process, and all the grieving, everybody grieves differently, and drives me
Hmm.
nuts when somebody's judgmental about how someone's grieving. It drives me
Yes,
nuts. Like, oh my
absolutely.
God. But do you think that sometimes people go to, a medium like yourself to either help with the grieving process, or do you think that when they go, sometimes it could hinder the grieving process? Because sometimes I know people will go because they say, like, I haven't dreamt about, I mean, say that it was, somebody's mother passed away. I haven't dreamt about my mother since she passed away.
Mhm.
Like, she's not around. Like, why is she not coming to me in dreams? Why? Like, do you ever have people like that that come to you to like, because they need the help with the grieving process, or
Oh,
just
absolutely. To have that connection, to have the ability to have that connection with someone that you love, to know, and I'm not talking about, you know, information as, "Oh, and this is, basic information that everybody does," right? "Oh, you used to go drive in a car," like, when you have a medium who's actually got a connection, they will say things and, either words that are very significant. They need to resonate, like, "Oh my gosh, she used to say that all the time." Or,
yes, mm-hmm,
you know, bring up items that you have, show actual evidence. So
yeah,
once they've got that, they need to trust that, right? And
yeah,
unfortunately, some people will be like, "Oh, well, they just guessed it," or, "Oh, they maybe just looked up,
yeah.
looked me up in the internet." Well, to be quite honest, I don't
Well,
have
we
the
don't
time
do
to look
that.
up people on the internet, and I'm so bad with names. I can book somebody can email me, book me,
Oh,
and then, like, I have their email address, and I totally forget their name, right? And
yeah.
it's just, I'm not looking people up. I don't, what
No,
is the proof there, right?
no, we
And
both don't do that. We don't ask for names. Just, but
yeah.
by the way, if somebody does like, and I know this probably, I mean, sorry to interrupt you, Kim, and I know that this is
No.
based on the second episode, but if somebody does slide in your DMs and say, "Hey, my name is Nikki and my name's Kim and I can give you this reading," or whatever it is, we will never ask for your date of birth, your person's date of birth, your pictures, nothing, because neither Kim and I work that way. We don't need to know your name and your date of birth, your astrology sign, his astrology sign. We know, we don't want to know a thing about you or your situation. Both of us go in blind. So that's just something I want to add.
Yeah, because it's, there's no there's no formula, you
Mm-mm.
know, everybody's different. Every reader's different. Every sitter is so people who are getting the reading, we call them sitter. Everybody's different, right? So you just people do get addicted, and I understand. I've got friends who've lost loved ones, but then you got the ones who maybe get a connection and it's very soon after. And
Yep.
that's another thing. Some people are like, "Oh, it'll be like they won't come for a year." Or I've
What?
had I've had connections very soon after,
Okay.
like within days.
Yeah.
I know of someone who's had it within 24 hours. I've had other people tell me stories about like them getting a reading and somebody coming through and them not knowing that you know, while they were gone, this person passed away, like while they were at that
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they can come through right away. So, you know, when you're getting these readings, you need to just not put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Especially if
Oh,
it is gonna be short, soon. If you
good
come
advice.
in and you're getting a reading and somebody comes through and they, have recently passed away and you're not quite ready yet and you're getting too much information and it might be like feeling like, "Oh my gosh," and you get overwhelmed. You're not ready for that yet. So, there's no harm in saying, "Hey, this is very overwhelming, right now," because we understand that. And, maybe book in a reading
Yeah.
with the person and in a certain period of time, like take their information and wait, you know,
Yeah.
uh, because I know we've actually had this instance when I was doing a live on Nikki's thing, and there was someone who had passed away um, quite recently to
Hmm.
when this person came through, and I don't think that that person was quite ready to hear yet.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. That was gut wrenching. Like I had never, that's the first
Yeah,
time I've
so
experienced something like that.
yeah, and it's understandable because if you don't know, if you haven't been involved in this stuff, there's so many things can come into play, right? Because however you were raised, like with if you were raised within certain religions or in certain communities, things like that, you're gonna think like, "Oh, this is really bad. Shouldn't be happening." So suddenly, if you fall in, you come into some place and somebody's actually giving you like actual evidence of someone who's crossed over, and you'll have an inner conflict, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh my gosh, is this good? Is this real? Is this bad?" And, you gotta have grace with yourself because on top of everything, you're still grieving,
Yeah.
and
No,
everybody's
that's
journey
true.
is different, you know? But then you have people who would come in and they get that, and then suddenly they're addicted,
Yeah.
right? And then, "Oh, I heard from them, and this is the only way I can hear from them." And so, they're trying to come all the time, and sometimes are people friends with you because they just wanna get readings from you, or are they friends with you because, you know
That's
do you
so
know what I
rude.
mean? Like, you just don't know. No, but I'm
That's
just
fair
saying,
though.
like, you
Yeah.
don't know how people
That's
are,
fair.
right?
Yep.
Um, and you just need to, I think, really learn who you are.
Yeah.
Because once you've had someone, pass away, again, I'm talking in terms like mediumship readings and things like that.
Hmm.
Once you've had somebody pass away who is significant in your life, however significant they are, you your life has changed. Who you were has changed,
Yeah. 100%.
and don't let anybody ever tell you different. because there
Yeah.
is now something that is either raw or, there's something changed. Just like vibration, like you're never going to be that person again.
No.
So
No, that's
you're going to be like the puzzle piece, the puzzle missing like a piece,
yeah. Yeah.
so it's never going to be the same. So don't expect yourself to grieve how you may have grieved in the past. Don't expect yourself to make decisions how you made in the past. Don't expect yourself to do many things the way you did in the past because you're no longer that person.
You know what? That's such a good point. When I think about people, or I think about myself, I lost a family member not too long ago that very much so I was very close with, like, loved her like insanely, as did everybody in my family. I saw the change in it, not just myself, but in my kids, in my, the spouse of this person, in, even the elderly people left in my family that I've outlived. I saw it, I see it, and it's,
Hmm.
wow. I'm sorry. That's a topic for an episode, I have to say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to put
But
that down. But yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
because it's like even Jenga, right? It's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing, right? You build, 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 and then like something happens and everything's a little bit different, you
Yeah.
know? So you need to be graceful with yourself and knowing that there's these changes. And,
Yeah.
if you don't, you're headed for you're headed for a disaster and you're gonna collapse if you
Yeah.
don't be graceful
No,
with yourself and give yourself that love and that
it's
attention
very
and
true.
focus it in on yourself.
No, it's very true, and honestly, if anybody out there, I mean, listening to this episode, realize, I mean, you might not even know it. Maybe listening to me and Kim, all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, I am addicted. I'm addicted to readings. I'm addicted to, talking to my passed on loved one. I'm addicted to it. There's so many things you can do to help yourself. I mean, there are so many resources out there. You definitely go to an addiction center. You delete the apps. If you find yourself getting addicted to lives about mediumship, delete the TikTok. I've told people, my clients, to delete TikTok for this reason. Delete TikTok for a while. Delete Instagram, wherever you're getting it. Delete that reader's name. Right? Get rid of all the
Mhm.
contact info. Tell a friend that, oh my God, I'm spending all this money. You got to help me. Like reach out to people that you trust. There's so many things you guys can do that can help you if you find yourself addicted to these types of readings. Don't feel scared to reach out. And I'm going to say it. Don't feel scared to email me or Kim. Our email's at the bottom there. Send us a message. Tell us you're having trouble. Like, one of us will definitely be like, okay, this is what you should do. This is what's going to help. This is what's helped for some of our readers. This is what we know help. But definitely seek it. If you feel that you're spiraling and you can't stop, seek the help, because it's out there. It's definitely out there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you want to reach out to us, both of us can try to find you counselors, therapists,
Absolutely.
psychologists, you know, that
Mhm.
can help you. Just because, mental health these days, again, like I will repeat it 8 million
Mhm.
times. It is such a fine little line most of the
Oh,
time
yeah.
that, the slightest little imbalance is going to break you.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I really believe that a lot of people, sadly, kind of thrive off of watching other people be broken.
I,
So,
all I'm gonna say is I agree with you, because I could totally go on a whole
yeah,
episode about that, but we'll just leave that to the side. But yes, you are
yeah.
100% right, and I
So,
definitely agree with
you
you.
know, yeah. So you just
Gross.
need to
Gross.
really be there for yourself.
Mhm.
And, maybe if you're spending a whole bunch of money on this stuff, maybe kind of take that money, put it aside, and have make a decision. Okay, well, if I'm not going to be spending this, maybe I will, I don't know, go get yourself a day at the spa, go
I
get
love
your
that.
nails done, go get your hair done,
I
if
love that.
that's what you like.
I
If
love that.
if you're kind of thinking, oh, my clothes, I feel a little bit ratty, go get go get some new clothes with that
Yourself.
money. You're
Treat yourself
feeling
to something
like
different.
health-wise, like you're not doing well, maybe go get a personal trainer to show you some exercises so you can get active and get exercising and feeling better about yourself.
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
treat yourself to a nice meal out, treat a friend out to a
Yeah.
nice meal out. There's so many things that you can just choose to do instead of spending the money on the reading and then it's gone.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you need help, send us an email. If you don't want to send us an email, you just want to comment down below and hey Nikki, Kim, I need some help. If you can contact me, whatever, definitely we will. Um, because it's growing. Kim and I have noticed this trend of people being addicted to this stuff is it's insane right now. Um, and it's not, some people use it as a scapegoat, and that's no good. That's no bueno,
Mhm.
right? Right?
No, no,
But
bueno.
I do have a question because this is the question portion um from
Hmm.
Annie. Okay. Ready? This is our
Okay.
question portion. And don't forget, guys, we read your questions, one or two questions at the end of each episode. Please throw them down in the comment section. Email them if you want, and we will answer your questions on the podcast as best as we can. So this one I do have from Annie. And Annie's asking, can anyone be a medium or do tarot, or do you need to have the gift? Go, Kim.
Well, I could tell you absolutely without a shred of any you everybody is psychic. Every single person is psychic. You have an intuition. That is how the cavemen stayed alive. All right?
Love
That is
that.
how they knew how to do things, how we do things, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
everybody has intuition. That is psychic
Yeah.
ability. So you
Yep.
just need to take a course or learn from other, get some basic foundation so that you can work with it. So absolutely everybody is psychic. Like I said, you know, you you get the spidey senses. You walk into a room and you're like, "Oh, this doesn't feel like a good place. Maybe I need to
Yes.
leave today." Or, you know, you're a little bit nervous and you walk into a room and all of a sudden you feel great, because the energy is great. That is psychic ability.
Right.
That is, you're reading
Yeah.
other people's energy. So, yes, absolutely everybody is psychic. Um, whatever they want to call it. There's nothing bad about it. It's the ability to keep alive. It's the ability to keep yourself safe, right?
Yeah.
Like that is what is in you. All right. So yeah, just doing exercises, you can work on that. With mediumship, I believe that everybody can communicate with their loved ones because again, you can't break that love. And, every religion, all of that, everyone is based in love,
Mhm, mhm.
right? And so this is universal. And you have a connection with these ones in your house. Just like, you know, you you know when somebody's in a bad mood, you know when somebody's not in a bad mood, like you can get that information. It doesn't change once they've crossed over. All right.
Yeah.
So you're still going to be able to sense them, but you need to learn to put yourself in a spot or a position that you can take in the information and discern, is this my own thoughts? Is this them talking to me? Asking for signs, you know, asking for signs and stuff so you can ask for spirit. Whether or not you can give other people information and work with it, well, that's, I guess, part of your journey as to whether or not
Yeah.
not there's a lot of bad mediums. So, there's a lot of bad tarot readers but there's a lot of good ones, right? And so, you know, I can't say for sure that everybody could be a medium, but I believe just communicating with spirit of your own, yeah, that makes you a medium. Whether or not you should be giving other people messages, like, that's a total different thing. And you'll
Yeah.
know when when you get that ability, and it's not easy to really know.
No, it's
So,
not.
to
Oh,
develop it, work with it. Um, if you are doing tarot, things like that, you're still working with spirit. So, I really do believe that that is absolutely an ability. Now, whether somebody's good at it, that's another completely different story.
that that is a completely different that is. The whole, you need to have a gift. Did you have a gift? She has a gift. Listen, everybody's got the gift. Like Kim said, everybody's got the gift.
Yeah,
So whenever I hear that,
life
oh,
is a
she's
gift.
got a gift. Oh, she got a, so you have a gift too. She's channeling her gift.
Mhm,
You channel yours, you're gonna have the gift. Okay. I mean, this is we don't live in movie Hollywood here. It's not like the movies and TV.
mhm,
Everybody has the gift. Everybody has a gift, whether people in your family have done it or whether they haven't. Right. I mean, there's this
yes.
weird preconceived notion that, oh my God, if everybody's done it in the family, that's so cool. Like that's so what's cool? Being the first one to do it in your family. That's cool.
Mhm,
Being the
mhm.
first one to be like, you know what? I want to do this. Everybody in my family's scared. Nobody else is interested. I want to build my, like you said, intuition. I want to tap in. I want
I
to
don't have
channel.
anybody in my family who did any of it.
See? See? You don't have to, like, the gift is not. I don't know why people have that kind. Maybe it's because, the movies did kind of create that kind of
Mhm.
that notion behind the gift, and that's fair, that's fine. But it's not really like that in real life, guys. Everybody has the gift, like Kim says. You just have to hone it. You just have to channel it. You have to work on it. Whether it's mediumship, try. I mean, if you do want to deliver messages to people because you do want to help that way, that's amazing. I think that's fantastic because I think what Kim does is so important. Then work on it, research it, learn, take the steps, right? And the same thing with tarot. Practice
Yeah,
on
sit in a
yourself. Start on
circle.
yourself. Yeah. Like it's anybody can have this gift and anybody can grow it, whether it's in your family, not in your family, whatever. Right. So that's why when people tell me, oh, I don't have the gift. Oh, I can't. You have the gift. You just need the ambition and the
Well,
drive.
I can tell you, if you are listening, watching, whatever, to this podcast, you've directed to this, it's something that's stirred inside of you. So it's absolutely something that you can work on,
There you go.
you know,
See, there you go.
and and not very many people who are mediums or tarot readers or any kind of reader, um, not very many are just suddenly good. And
True.
so if you are learning, as I said with other things, you need to be gentle with yourself. You need to this is baby steps.
Mhm.
Babies aren't, maybe there is some baby that's running right out of the room. Who knows? But, who knows? Because you never know these days. But there's steps to get to there. There's steps for babies when they're born, and then they start to kind of like move around, and then they start to
Yeah.
kind of, get their feet going, and then they start to crawl, and there's steps. Yeah, some stuff is skipped, but you need to know this isn't a suddenly you got it and that's it.
No, exactly. No, exactly. Yeah.
So,
That was actually a very good question. That was a good question. Possibly
mhm.
something we could talk about at length in another episode upcoming. I think that was a very good one. So many
Yeah.
people want to try and they don't because they don't know how or they're
Mhm.
scared. They don't think they can do it. So yeah,
Or they're
that's
scared
interesting.
about what they're
Yes.
going to conjure by doing it, right?
Or what
Um,
others are gonna say or what oh Lord. Oh Lord.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm heathen. Do people know that?
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know?
Yes, no, absolutely. And by the way, just piggybacking on what Kim said, people in my family did it, and I had to learn. Okay, I had to learn to channel it. I had to learn. It was not instant for me. Okay, so every time I get that compliment, oh, you're such a natural. No, I'm a natural now. But when I started, no, I was not. I had to learn like everybody else, right? I mean, so please, like everybody. Just know that
Yeah.
it's a learning curve. Both types of mediumships,
Yeah.
massive learning curve for everybody.
Yes. A-
Yeah.
Again, just like things like driving, riding a bike, you're not going to do
Yes.
it instantly and be perfect.
No.
Everybody, you need to work on it, you need to develop it. And I can tell you, the developing of the gift
Mhm.
is the most rewarding thing that
Yeah.
you can do.
Yes. It's fun. I find it fun. Every time I try to,
Mhm.
work on I love that. I love that work so much. It's so fun. You learn a lot, not just, like about techniques and stuff, but you learn a lot about yourself when you're doing this.
Oh, yes.
That's like my favorite part. That's my favorite part.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am a completely different person than I was before I
Yeah.
really started this journey,
Yeah.
like completely. So
Yeah.
I like who I am now,
Me too.
and we have these, you still, it doesn't mean you think you're the best ever, but you're just yourself, you know,
Yeah.
just how you see yourself, how you show up in the world, it'll change. It'll change.
Absolutely.
And it'll change also, you know, going from, you know, always feeling, because I find a lot of people that do stuff like what we do, are usually like kind of in the beginning where, as we're growing up, we're kind of considered a little bit odd or a little different,
Black
right?
sheeps.
Because,
Oh yeah.
yeah, because we're, maybe
Yep.
we say things we shouldn't say, like,
Oh, I still
we
say
we
things I
we ask
shouldn't
too
say
many
sometimes.
questions, we're not believing everything, and then, that can give people, rub people wrong, or people can, you know, not not terribly make you feel welcome. So, when you get to this point and you start realizing, then you get to a point where you don't care what they're saying about you. You don't
No.
care what, whatever anymore. What could
Yeah.
have tore you up? Now it's just like, whatever, I don't care. You
Yeah.
know,
You just shrug.
and if they want me to rent space in their head and they got all those other stuff to worry about, well, I guess that's
Oh,
their problem, because I'm not going to
that's
worry about
right.
them,
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah,
And it's the best feeling to have when you get to that realization. So,
it is. It is.
mhm,
Oh my god. It's already been an hour. I feel like we've only been talking again for 10 minutes. Like,
crazy.
I
Goes so
know, it's crazy.
fast.
I know, I love it, I love it. I love it so much, but I guess, we'll start signing off here. Again, thank you everybody for
Yes.
listening to us. Comment, send us your questions, like us, share, follow, whatever. If you've already done that, amazing. Thank you so much. We're so grateful for you. And we'll be back next week with another episode, which we didn't decide on yet, but we will. Oh, unless Kim just did. Did you decide on an
Well,
episode?
it's, mental health.
Oh, I like it. It's a nice transition. Let's do that
Yes,
one.
I don't know about the song, the music that just suddenly showed up, but,
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's
mental
talk
health,
about that.
when you should seek help from a mental health professional.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
So,
good one. That's a good one. It's perfect. It kind of works
definitely
with
kinda goes
what we're
hand in
doing.
hand with today,
Yeah.
but just so people can have, an idea.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, if I have a story for next week, I'll share it. I mean, I guess I'm the story person. If I find really awesome stories, I'll share it with you guys. But sometimes I might not be able to, and it'll just be us rambling about the stuff that we know and whatnot. But honestly, thank you everybody for listening again. I mean, we really appreciate it, and we hope you learned something. Reach out if you have any questions. We will answer them. Right, Kim?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and, again, we do this to because we want you to learn about the spirit, and we are going to learn along with you. And we are ever so grateful for you coming along on this journey with us. So, thank you for joining us with the Spirit Cafe sessions, and where we're serving spirit. Have a
Okay. Ha.
fantastic day.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. See you next time.